Everybody has that one friend who drives a Honda Civic. He's the guy that's going to swear to you that his car will beat yours on a track any day due to his lightweight VTEC machine. He's a beast. You may be wondering why your friend is so obnoxious all the time. Well, this video is going to try to explain that. I'm mainly basing these criteria on the SI model, Type Rs I guess, and also just like heavily modified Civics. Without further ado, here are 5 annoying things that Civic guys do. Most Civic guys can be found in a McDonald's parking lot revving harder than Ronnie Mac on a 2-stroke CR. To you, it sounds like Winnie the Pooh stole a gallon of honey from a beehive, but to the Civic guy, it sounds like the gates of heaven. One of the first things I did when I got my SI was christen the tires. Now this is fairly common for a lot of people who get a sports car or any performance car, but this story was fairly interesting. I was at work and my boss, who was not much older than me at the time, saw me in my car for the first time. He likes cars, so he yells at me, "Yo Yanni, light him up!" In the parking lot of this public recreational facility, I decided to press on my clutch, rev the car up to about 4,000 RPM, and drop the clutch harder than Conor McGregor dropped Jose Aldo.
Relaxed and smiling. Oh! She slipped it! The new UFC featherweight champion of the world!
Rip Aldo. Now for this being like my first real burnout, I thought it was sick as hell. It was so cool hearing the sound of the motor and the sound of the tires just squealing and working together to create such a cool audio experience. But for the poor innocent families that just witnessed this atrocity, they were just a little bit less pleased. Now this next one can be best explained with a video example. Just a few weeks ago, I spotted a Dodge Viper on the highway. So I dropped a few gears, pulled up next to him and floored it. You know, I really thought I was doing well, thought I was racing him. But now that I kind of look back on it, I realized that he was probably just cruising in 6th gear. And I was fully banging off the limiter at about 8,600 RPM. But I swear I almost had him. Now another trend I see in the Civic world is people putting those wings on the back of their cars that are big enough to lift the 747. I'm talking about those huge flap ones that are angled like completely vertical. It just scares me. I don't know why people do this despite the aerodynamic losses. It just doesn't make any sense. One of the most Hondas I've ever seen was the Honda and Muscle vs. Tuners video titled "Shit Civic Owners Say." That one was a prime example. Check this thing out. That thing was Honda AF. Now lastly, one of the more annoying things is Civic guys doing a lot of cosmetic mods to their car. And I'm not talking about lowering it for getting like better center of gravity and stuff. I'm talking about just like stupid body kits. They look really ugly, you know, crazy LED mods, crazy stupid things that don't actually add to the performance of their vehicle. I'm just really tired of this because it really gives us Civic guys a bad rep. And I'm just bummed that these cars aren't recognized for what they really are. The car community hates them so much, but they're actually like great machines. You know, front wheel drive sucks to some people, but it's really fun to a lot of other people. Now, aside from the 5 things I just listed, I'd really like to offer an explanation to you guys, and please just hear me out. Just wait this out a second. I've personally participated in 3 out of 5 of the things I just listed. I am a Civic guy. The other 2 categories, I actually came really close to purchasing some parts that would have put me into those categories. The wing and the cosmetic mods that were just ridiculous. But I didn't. Came to my senses. I realized it was all hype when I first got into this car. But that must make you wonder. I'm a person who's loved cars his whole life. I really care about performance. I really care about what's popular in the car scene at the time. So that must make you wonder why so many Civic guys get suckered into these really like childish behaviors and childish mods. The best reason that I could come up with was that Civics are cheap. Civics are very cheap performance. They're lightweight, they're fun, they're stick shift, they're very flickable, and this leads to a lot of people buying Civics as their first like performance enthusiast car. All these people have ever wanted to do is go fast, have a vehicle that they consider cool, so they begin doing things like burnouts, racing, revving, and buying parts for their cars before they've actually indulged themselves into the car scene. They're doing things that they don't even actually realize are frowned upon in most cases. In the time that I've owned my Civic, I've learned so much about cars, so much about car culture, and so much about performance. With that being said, I wouldn't have gone any other route. I'm so glad that I bought a Civic as my first enthusiast vehicle. So all in all, I'm not really asking you to have mercy on the Civic guys or be their friends, whatever. We're weird, we get it. All I can say is at least give them the benefit of the doubt, because most of the time they're just little car guy flowers waiting to blossom. Thank you, I'm Yanni Knowles, and have a nice day.